Hello and welcome to the Roxamore Sports coverage of the 210 Speed and Agility 7-on-7 here at the Woodland Hills Wolvarena. Right now we are looking at, let me just take a glance here, West Mifflin versus Farrell. That kind of threw me off. The schedule said we were going to be watching a different set of teams, but right now this is the only time the schedule has changed today, so overall there's a minor adjustment. Farrell, though, was scheduled for the last game, which would be the 7:30 game, but right now Farrell is going against West Mifflin here. I believe it was originally going to be West Mifflin versus Clareton. However, they switched it up a little bit. So right now we're looking at West Mifflin. They're in the blue and gold. Franklin Regional. Actually, I lied to you guys altogether. West Mifflin is not here on the field. Okay, that threw me off altogether. So originally it was West Mifflin versus Clareton. Okay, now we are looking at Farrell versus Franklin Regional. Franklin Regional, they're in the navy blue and gold. And Farrell, they're in the gold and white. Actually, the red and white. And the score right now is 11-0. Farrell in the lead. Farrell got that last 3 points with a interception. Actually, I lied to you about that as well. Franklin got a interception there, so we are now 3-11 with Farrell in the lead. So the score right now is 11-3. White and red in the lead. 11-3. So it is official. It is Farrell versus Franklin Regional. Farrell, they're in the white and red, and Franklin Regional in the navy blue and gold. It is official. So right now, Farrell is in the lead, 11-3. Franklin Regional got an interception. Interceptions of course, were 3 points. Oh man, see what a schedule change can do to you. At least for a commentator, it's a nightmare. Franklin Regional's quarterback, a man that can send it far, and sends it off to number 10. It is looking like a sure thing here by them. And it is indeed a sure thing. A touchdown for Franklin Regional, sending them up to 9 points, under 11.
Franklin Regional can't fit in. You just got to put Frank that forward. So get regional out of it. Put that forward. That forward.
So an excellent run there by Franklin Regional, as they are now just 2 points away from tying up the game. And it looks like that is indeed what they're going for, a tied game, as they are going for that 2-point attempt at the 10-yard line. So let's see what they got cooking up here. Let's see if they can actually make it into the end zone.
Roxamore pre-party next week. I'm going to come in here acting like this. Shit. Hope y'all fucking come here late and shit.
Franklin Regional looking good here. Oh, they almost had the ball there, but they missed it. So the score remains 9-11. Right now, Farrell is taking the 40-yard line for the offensive play. And if nothing else changes, that is, if nothing else changes. Our next game or last game will be, let's see here. No.
At the end of every score, I'm going to run a touchdown. Pump up for the story
The next and last game will be Farrell versus Franklin Regional. Actually, that's what we're looking at right now. So, I'm not exactly sure. I guess because we're approaching the 7:30, they cut a game short. Not exactly sure what happened here on the field. But it appears that the last game, at least according to schedule, is happening right now. As we approach 7:30 here shortly. So Franklin Regional had a successful touchdown, had an interception, which brought them up to 9 points. They couldn't get that additional 2 points to tie up the game. However, they can potentially take the lead if they get an interception here on this play against Farrell. Farrell's quarterback, a powerhouse for the team. Just like that, as you see it, hands it over to number 3, down past the 10-yard line. Gaining Farrell much needed ground here. So Farrell is pitting on much weight onto Franklin Regional. Just outside the end zone, quarterback sends it over, and almost a sure thing, almost, off to number 8. 2 times the charm. No, we know of Farrell. This seems almost a sure thing here. Quarterback sends it straight. And off to number 14. Touchdown indeed there for Farrell as we now look at a score of 17-9. Looks like Farrell is going in for the 2-point attempt. Okay, there we go. At the 10-yard line, it looks like they're going to go in for that additional 2 points, which will send them up 19-9. Quarterback for Farrell in action here. A new one at this point, and beautifully received there by number 2. As we now look at a score of 19-9. Franklin Regional now at the 40-yard line. If successful, they can get this game 17-19. Right now, we're looking at a score of 19-9 with Farrell in the lead yet again. Farrell won the game against USO in the last game. So let's see what we have here with Franklin Regional. As we know, Franklin Regional has a mighty fine quarterback when it comes to gaining some distance here, as well as as well as nailing his accuracy down as he hands it off to number 16 from Franklin Regional. However, no ground is covered on that one. They still hold the 40-yard line. Franklin Regional fired up here, ready for action. And let's see what we got as players take their position on the field. He sends it straight off to number 10, past the 30-yard line, gaining Franklin Regional much needed ground. So Franklin Regional now holds the 30-yard line. And this, I believe, is indeed the last game here. So it looks like we skipped over a game. That would be the West Mifflin versus Clareton game. Quarterback sends it deep, deep, deep. Oh, and all collision there. No injuries, fortunately. Everybody was ready for that ball, and everybody be occupying one spot just led to a clash. No reception. Franklin Regional holds the 30-yard line still. Be sure to head over to rockcomedyshow.com to get a good look at the next event starring Aaron Lamar. Story time for the Rock Comedy Show. And that'll be, of course, available on all platforms, that being Facebook, Apple TV, Amazon Fire Stick, Facebook beta page, Facebook itself, Twitter, and YouTube, of course. And that does contain adult content, so it is highly advisable to use for your discretion. That pass is incomplete at the end zone. Score remains 19-9. Farrell in the lead over Franklin Regional. So Franklin Regional gains no ground at all in that play. And Farrell putting them in an ugly position. As Farrell is now back at the 40-yard line. So Franklin Regional loses the ball to a turnover, and that pass is incomplete.
Good evening, gentlemen.
And again, we are just about 2 weeks away from the final, coming up July 1st, Saturday, where we will have the playoffs and championship. Previous championship from last year here at their own field was Woodland Hills. Of course, that was always subject to change, as it is multiple schools, one field, many talents. Almost an interception there by number 10 from Franklin Regional, almost, which would have been very beneficial there for Franklin Regional had they managed to get that interception. Right now the score is 19-9. It's not impossible, if Franklin Regional does get an interception, for them to tie up the game. Should they be so lucky. But nonetheless, Farrell isn't gaining too much ground here at past the 40-yard line. Of course, that is likely to change knowing what we know about Farrell. Let's see what we got here. Quarterback sends it straight, and indeed they do gain ground there, thanks to number 8 from Farrell. But again, that last event here for the 210 Speed and Agility 7-on-7 will be on Saturday, July 1st. We'll have knockoffs and, of course, the championship for this year here in 2023. As well as on-field interviews. You can also check out some on-field interviews if you head over to @PA Today on Twitter, as he has interviewed quite a few athletes here on the field for the 7-on-7, 210 Speed and Agility. So again, check out @PA Today on Twitter. And of course, special shout out to Coach D. Brown, the founder of the 210 Speed and Agility 7-on-7. A fine gentleman he is, and a man that has worked with a great many talents, including Aaron Donald. Quarterback in action here, sends it off to number 12 and taken out by Franklin Regional's defense. And of course I said it to the fans of Farrell, but to the fans of Franklin Regional. Congratulations to the class of 2023. For those of you heading off to college, I highly recommend buying your books online, of course from a safe website, because it tends to be a lot cheaper than buying your books at the college campus bookstore. Quarterback sends it off to number 12 yet again, and this time they gain some ground past the 5-yard line. Certainly does put Franklin Regional in an ugly position. As Farrell is just outside the end zone. What do they got? What do they got? Is it a touchdown, or is the defense able to hold him off? We shall see. Of course, we have 2 weeks until the finals, but we will be here nonetheless tomorrow at 5 p.m. and ending off around the same time of this game, either 7:40-ish or 8 o'clock. Looked like it was incomplete, but I guess it was an interception. Having a hard time telling. Take us to commercial. All right. We'll be right back after these messages. All right, we are back with Franklin Regional at the 40-yard line. Franklin Regional was able to hold off the pressure from Farrell, as they did get that interception. We're looking at 12 under 19. Franklin Regional behind, but not by too much. Franklin Regional does have a shot here now that they got that interception. Farrell can, of course, put away the danger if they get an interception themselves, as interceptions are worth 3 points. Oh, nicely done there. And they did get that interception indeed, which does put away the danger from Franklin Regional. Crushing their pride. 22 over 12. Fabulous work there, and that does conclude this game between Franklin Regional and Farrell. Woo-wee. Man, that was a game. Farrell 22 over 12. Great job there by these two teams. Franklin Regional gave it their all in all. Great quarterback, great reception, great defense from Franklin Regional. Farrell, though, back-to-back victory for them, as they won the previous game against USO, and they won this game against Franklin Regional as well. And now it is 7:37. We did have a cancellation on one of the games that was between West Mifflin and Clairton, although they might resume that game potentially, so it is possible that Clairton will be playing against West Mifflin for our last game, 7:30 game, as I am seeing Clairton's athletes and West Mifflin's athletes here on the field. So that game could happen right here, right now. At 7:37. So right now, we are heading off into our next game, last game. And again, I am seeing Clairton and West Mifflin on the field here. So it looks like they bumped the game that was supposed to happen previously to the last game. As I have it on my schedule that the last game was supposed to be Farrell versus Franklin Regional, and now it is West Mifflin versus Clairton, it looks like. So be sure to stay tuned with us here on the Roxamore Sports for our last game. Of course, For those of you tuning out, we'll be back here tomorrow, as well as next Tuesday and Wednesday, same time, 5 p.m. to 8 p.m. And of course, for our last game in about 2 weeks, July 1st, on a Saturday, here on the Roxamore Sports Network. We'll see you there.